We're coffee people, okay? So now we have Anna from Ukraine. We've got a nice coffee series about coffee shops, and she had her own coffee shop, you know that, in Port Moody, and she helps many others. She's a roaster. You know a lot about coffee, don't you?
As I said, the more you get to know, the more you understand you don't know anything.
And what I liked about Anna is when we did that Best Coffee Shop Experiences in Vancouver YouTube series, she would jump in with owners because she knew many of them and just start making espressos. They were glad to have you back.
Well, whenever they have a lineup, this is what you do. You just help. You just jump in the bar.
So today with Osmond here, Si Coffee. Just say yes.
Si Cafe.
Si Cafe. He has his own coffee farms. And tell them about coffee. About the colors of the beans, about big families, because you got to pick it all by hand. There's no machinery anywhere in the world that harvests coffee beans.
That's right.
It's like a peanut. It's a cherry.
Yes.
Come on, tell us. Tell us about coffee.
Well, I don't know where you want me to start. Like, well, you know, coffee. To make a good cup of coffee, it goes way back to nursery. To the little plant. From there, it's a very complex, long process from nursery to planting to taking care of that plant for 3 years before it starts yielding coffee, to harvest 4 months, 5 months, depends on the altitude of the plantation. Coffee doesn't ripen at the same time, you know that, so it has to be handpicked. Blueberry, that's very easy. You put the machine there, shake it, all the blueberries fall at once. Coffee, it goes month by month. Not all coffee ripens at the same time.
Okay.
So you gotta have experienced hands to just pick the red cherry.
If I put a plant in the ground, altitude in Nicaragua, how long in the future will it be ready for first harvest?
3 years.
3 years.
Average.
And the season, the harvest season is November?
November, it starts late November.
4 months.
4 months. It could be 5. It depends on the altitude. It depends on the variety of the coffee beans. It depends on God, the weather, man. It depends. But normally it would
Soil?
be
Is
three.
soil a factor, like in other crops?
Well, of course, soil's over. Coffees taste different country to country because of the nutrients, the minerals in the soil,
Okay.
the altitude, the amount of rain
Okay.
it got. If it's organic and you didn't put any pesticides or external nutrients, in our case it's shade grown. We respect the canopy of the trees. We plant citrus plants along the aisles so that the coffee becomes more acid. There's tricks farmers have. We let the fruit rotten on the ground, the leaves of the citrus, lime, lemon, orange, pomegranate, grapefruit. So that adds acidity to coffee. If you want any other flavors as well, those are things, you know.
What did you say about Nicaraguans having large families?
Well, that's historic. Farmers especially, they have big families because they're poor. They have 10 kids and they all go work the land. So you have free labor, you know, and that's up to now has been kind of okay. You cannot, how can I say it? You cannot, it's not correct now, I would say.
Labor laws?
labor have kids
Right.
work, but that's a thing that it's true.
Right.
It happens.
Right.
What can you do about it? It's dad and mom, and they go all work. They're working their own business, at their own land, and some milk the cattle, others clean the crops, others pick the crops.
They go to the plant during harvest season, and you call it a cherry?
It is a cherry.
It will
actually.
be how many different colors on that branch?
Well, you can up to 5, 6. Green, yellowish, orange-ish, red, green red. So you only pick the red one. But
The
you're
red
going-
one.
You're going so fast that you might pick a yellow, a green one. Then
Okay.
you need to start selecting, separating.
But you're wanting the red ones each
Only.
time you go through.
Yeah, only the red ones. If one of the beans falls to the ground, that's you cannot pick it up and put it in the basket either. That's a second already. It will ruin all your coffee. Now, whatever you cut today, you gotta wash it. You go to a machine, peel it off. The peel and the sweetener goes on one side. The coffee bean goes on the other side and goes into a swimming pool. Just pretend it's a raw
Okay.
swimming pool.
Yeah.
And that's the washing process. That's what we do. That's natural wash
Okay. At the farm.
at the farm.
Okay.
Depending on the altitude, it will take anywhere from 12 to 24, 36 hours as well to wash. You're washing the sweet membrane from the coffee bean. So when you peel it, the peanut, the shell, it's around. It has a white membrane. If you put it in your mouth, it's sweet. You can get one cherry, put it in your mouth, eat it, and it's gonna be sweet.
Okay.
So after that, washed, you want it to be, in that process also, coffee that is not good, it will float.
Okay.
So you get rid of all that.
Okay.
So then from there, you bring it into big, what's the name in English? Saco de macén, the big sacks.
The burlap bags?
Yeah, how do you call it?
Burlap.
Burlap, yeah. And we put them there and we bring it to the middleman. We imagine going down the mountain.
Who does the sizing?
The middleman.
He will. And how many sizes?
Well, there's up to 12, 8, 9.
8, 9 different sizes.
Well, in our country, we do 9 sizes.
He said something interesting because I'm going to get to you about what
Yeah.
you've learned from roasting.
Yeah.
Because you're a certified roaster now.
I just work in roasting.
You just work in roasting, okay. But sometimes when you take different sizes in the roasting process, a big one and a little one, for 12 minutes at 200 and some degrees, you've got one undercooked and one overcooked.
You don't do that, Danny.
You don't do that. You shouldn't do that?
No.
Why not?
If you know what you're doing, you separate.
You separate. And there are different, so all the beans, all the green seeds, they are separated and they have different grades. That means quality. So grade 1 is the top quality. Let's say grade 3 is in the middle. Grade 4, right? It's lower. And so on. So just like we separate and we sort, a machine does this. Already roasted coffee that it has the same, so all the beans that were first selected with one size, then, so it's a method of selection starting from the green beans that you use for roasting, and after that roasted coffee is selected as well, like one more time with another machine, sorting them so they have even color, like roasted level.
You want the same kind of bean.
Correct.
But you
if
don't
we're
have the...
talking about specialty coffee, you know?
Here in Canada, this is done this way, or at the source?
Yes. No, in
Canada.
roasters do that. But same like as roasters do that here, green coffee is selected on the farm.
The middleman is the Nicaraguan company that exports the container of green coffee to a Canadian importer.
Okay.
So that coffee is already out of the shell,
Okay.
selected. There's, depending on where it's going, if it's going to America or United States, North America or Europe, you have different guidelines. I fly the coffee beans. I bring my coffee by plane. It's cheap.
Yeah.
I can get the bag, 1 pound,
Labor
$6.
is cheaper there.
Yeah. It's like outsourcing.
So you can get your coffee here $6 a bag.
Yeah, landed.
Friday order, it's here by Wednesday.
Okay, this coffee is single origin coffee. It means one farm, one region, one country. There's no blend. It is what it is. That's a perfect profile of a Nicaraguan coffee. Important thing you don't want to let go. She mentioned it right now, fresh and good. You know why it's so fresh? Because I crack open the coffee and select it and then roast it. Coffee that comes from Colombia or Africa has to have been cracked open and selected. So that boat trip, it's already a month, 2 months. In the third wave of coffee right now. Like the first wave was when people started having the instant coffee at home. And then the second wave, Starbucks came up with coffee shops and everybody started drinking coffees out. And now
fashion.
third wave, it's like medium roast coffee and just going back to home and preparing your coffees at home with French press and mocha and more aficionados, connoisseurs. We're there right now. So single origin coffee, it's kind of it's in right now.
Okay.
Single origin coffees.